We came together and we made the most significant state-level investment in transportation infrastructure in just about 23 years. So we are fixing our roads and our bridges and our highways. And we also came together, and for the first time in 25 years, we froze in-state tuition at our universities and lowered it at our community colleges. And we are feeling the positive impact of those measures across the state. Our unemployment rate's at 3.0, that's one of the lowest in the country. CNBC says we are the most business-friendly state in the country. We've been named the best state in the country now 3 years running, based on over a dozen measures of economic strength, community safety, and quality of life. And today, more people are working in the Granite State than at any time in our state's history. So that's really good progress. And that's the progress we need to build on. Sadly, the vision that is reflected in those steps we all took together, in the progress we've been making, is not shared by my opponent in this race. I talked at the top of my remarks a little bit about Kelly Ayott's support for the Supreme Court blockade. Even more astounding when you think about the fact that she is a former Attorney General of this state. She knows what a gridlocked Supreme Court does to the cause of justice and how that really impacts the daily lives of our people and our business leaders. So it's really important that we point that out to voters. She also knows and is also putting her party first when it comes to her support for Donald Trump. Because think about this, even in people in his own party, national security and foreign policy experts in the Republican Party, have said that Donald Trump is unfit, temperamentally disqualified from being commander-in-chief. Yet Kelly Ayotte says that she is going to vote to put him in the Situation Room with access to our nuclear codes. A man who spent the other night tweeting because somebody got under his skin, right? So that's another example of how my opponent puts her party and the special interests that back that party first. But they're not the only ones. So as you go out and talk with your fellow citizens, and especially when you engage with undecided voters, I hope you'll let them know about a few other elements of Kelly's record, right? So we have one of the highest per capita levels of student debt in the country. So what does Kelly Ayotte do? She votes to make deep cuts into Pell Grants while also voting against allowing students to refinance their student loans. That would make college more expensive for thousands of Granite State students. When it comes to our environment, so critical to who we are as a people and a place, she has stood with the Koch brothers. She voted with them nearly 90% of the time in her first 4 years of office. So she's been standing to protect big oil, tax breaks for big oil, at the expense of our natural resources, being the only New England senator to vote against critical clean water protections. When it comes to our seniors, she has voted to turn Medicare into a voucher system. That makes health care for our seniors more expensive. She has also voted against protecting Social Security benefits. And you know, right after the horror of Orlando, she had the opportunity, again, to vote to expand background checks so that terrorists wouldn't be able to buy guns online or at gun shows. She declined the opportunity yet again. That's again putting the gun lobby backing her party before the security of the people of the Granite State and our country. And lastly, when it comes to women's health, Kelly Ayotte says that employers should be able to deny female employees preventive care and birth control coverage. She says Roe v. Wade should be overturned, and she's voted to defund Planned Parenthood 6 times. So I'm ready to change that with your help, and that's also what this election is about. Our current U.S. Senator puts her party and the corporate special interests that back that party before the interests of the Granite State. I'm going to be a senator who always puts Granite State and the people of our country first. And more than anything else, as you go out today, I hope you will talk to your fellow citizens about the choice in this election up and down the ticket. Washington has been captured by corporate special interests. We need to make sure that Granite Staters have a senator who's on their side. Now, I know how important the work that you are going out to do is, right? This is really the grassroots work that makes the difference, because beneath all the noise that people may be hearing for Concord, and she has recruited into public life over the years. So thank you for your leadership and your service and your mentorship. Thanks to everybody here for everything that you have done and are going to do over the next, what are we down to, 38 days? Is that where we are? A couple of things. So I have had the great privilege of running for office in New Hampshire now every 2 years since 2002. Because in New Hampshire, that's what we do, right? Every 2 years since 2002, I have been standing in front of groups like this and saying, this is the most important election of our lifetime. Well, I am in a race for the United States Senate, running against somebody who is standing right with Mitch McConnell on the Supreme Court blockade and is supporting Donald Trump for the presidency of the United States. So folks, the stakes could not be higher, and this is the most important election of our lifetime. Right? I am so grateful that you are all here today to really get out there and engage with your fellow citizens about the importance of electing Democrats up and down the ticket, right? We have to elect Hillary Clinton as our next president of the United States.
Yes! Woo!
Secretary Clinton, Hillary has a great vision of a country where people who work hard to get ahead